Welcome to CBTU and I am Sri. In this session we are going to learn about Java basics and syntax. Java is object oriented programming language, OOP language, similar to C++. The syntax is the set of rules defining how a Java program is written and interpreted. The syntax is mostly derived from C and C++. Unlike C++, in Java there are no global functions or variables, but there are data members which are also regarded as global variables. All code belongs to classes and all values are objects. The only exception is the primitive types, which are not represented by any class instance for performance reasons. Some features like operator overloading or unsigned integer types are omitted to simplify the language and to avoid possible programming mistakes. These are the Java basics we need to know. They are identifier, keywords, literals, variables, code blocks, and comments. Here is the sample hello world example. Identifier. Java has certain set of naming rules and conventions. An identifier is the name of an element in the code and are case sensitive. Identifier features include begin with any Unicode character, that is a letter, but cannot start with a digit. Subsequent characters may be letters, digits, dollar signs, or underscore characters. Currency sign such as dollar is permitted. Special character such as underscore is permitted. It cannot be equal to a reserved keyword, null literal or boolean literal. White space is not permitted. Choose self-explanatory names for the variables. It is for easy reading and understanding the code. Using acronyms or abbreviations is discouraged. Reserved keywords as identifier is not allowed. Use lowercase for single word, and if it consists of more than one word, capitalize the first letter of each subsequent word. Example, my score. You see the capitalization of the S in second word. All variables must be first declared before they can be used. This involves stating the variable's type and name. Example, integer, my score, semicolon. Keywords. Java uses keyword reserved for usage in the language, and they cannot be used for naming variables. Some keyword examples are for, new, do, if, this, byte, public, private, etc. A literal is a fixed value that may be assigned to a variable of primitive type. These are the examples. Variables. Variables are identifiers associated with values. They are declared by writing the variable's type and name, and variables are optionally initialized in the same statement by assigning a value. Java language defines the following kinds of variables: instance variables, class variables, local variables, and parameters. Member variables in a class are called fields. Variables in a method or a block of code are local variables. Variables in method declarations are called parameters. Code blocks. These separators signify a code block and a new scope. Class members and the body of a method are examples of what can live inside these braces in various contexts. Comments. Java has three kinds of comments: traditional comments, end of line comments, and documentation comments. Traditional comments are also known as block comments. Traditional comments, they begin with /* and the comments text and end with star and /. And end of line comments, Double forward slash at the beginning of a line is end of line comments. Documentation comments. Documentation comments in the source files are processed by the JavaDoc tool to generate documentation. These comments are a special kind of traditional comments and they are not specifically defined in the language specification. The commented text is ignored by the compiler. Comment text is a help text that is useful in understanding the Java source code. More on Java syntax. Source files must be named after the public class they contain, and they are appended with the suffix .java, for example helloworld.java. It must be a Java source file must be first compiled into a bytecode using Java compiler, which creates a file named helloworld.class. Java source file may only contain one public class, but it can contain multiple classes with other than public access and any number of public inner classes. When the source file contains multiple classes, make one class public and name of the source file with that public class name. Keyword public denotes that a method can be called from the code in other classes, or that class may be used by the classes outside the class hierarchy. The class hierarchy is related to the name of the directory in which the Java file is located. This is called an access level modifier. Other access level modifiers include the keywords private and protected. The keyword static in front of a method indicates a static method which is associated only with the class and not with any specific instance of that class. Only static methods can be invoked without a reference to an object. Static methods cannot access any class members that are not static. Methods that are not designated static are instance methods and require a specific instance of a class to operate. The word void indicates that main method doesn't return any value to the caller. If a Java program is to exit with an error code, it must call system.exit explicitly. The method name main is not a keyword in the Java language. It is simply the name of a method the Java launcher calls to pass the control to the program. Java classes that run in the managed environment such as applets and beans, enterprise Java beans, do not use or need main method. A Java program may contain multiple classes that have main methods, which means that VM need to be explicitly told which class to launch from. The main method must accept array of string objects. By convention it is referred as args, although any other legal identifier name can be used. Java launcher launches Java by loading a given class. The Java launcher launches Java by loading a given class, specified on the command line or as an attribute in a jar. Starting its public static void main method, standalone programs must declare this method explicitly. String args parameter is an array of string objects containing any arguments passed to the class. The parameters to the main are often passed by means of a command line. Printing is part of Java standard library. The system class defines the public static field called out. The out object is an instance of printstream class and it provides many methods for printing the data to the standard out, including println, which also appends a new line to the passed string. The string hello world is automatically converted to a string object by the compiler. Thanks for watching. Let's see more Java in the coming sessions.